Hello YouTube, so today's just going to be a video because I like making videos to start with, but it's all going to be about the cheapest of green screen techniques you could find, how I do it, not probably how it should be done, but it's how I do it, and why I didn't activate the green screen on my last tutorial video. It's all about lighting conditions and stuff like that. Now, I don't have studio lights, big diffusing boxes and stuff like that. So in this video, I'm relying purely on a bed sheet, a green bed sheet, and sunlight. So let's get on with it. Today wasn't as bad as the other day where I had to actually rip the bed sheet off my daughter's bed because we're changing the beds. We change the beds once a week here, so that's how we do it, I suppose. Basically, I've got it hung on the wardrobe. As you can see, it's a nice colour green. It's not the green you'd want. You'd probably want a little bit of a deeper green. What I do usually at this point is I bring the camera to a certain space so you don't see any of the outside, and I set it in narrow mode so it just films that depth of view and you just get a chest up sort of view on the video. Otherwise, if I had a whole wall, I could pan right back and have a whole green screen behind me, but then light becomes a problem. You need studio lighting and stuff like that. So I'm going to be showing you how to do this in Adobe Premiere. I mean, there's composition software out there that can do it as well, like After Effects and all that sort of stuff. I'm going to be talking about Chroma Keying, which is the green screen, and also I'm going to be talking about color keying. So, in my daughter's room here we have this beautiful picture of a zebra, and as you can see there's yellow all behind it. Now I won't use Chroma Key to mask out the coloured area. I will use colour keying for that. Okay, so I'm going to make a few recommendations here. Number one, clean your lenses. Always clean your lenses. You think your camera's ready to go and all that, but just check, because there's nothing worse than shooting a video. You get it in post and there's a smudge and you can see them. Now, obviously the thing that affects this to make it a better quality is the resolution you're shooting in. I'm shooting in 1080p 30 frames a second on this camera. You'll see the results are quite good, but it's actually harder to green screen because you've got to do a bit of blending and all that. I'm going to show you how to do it in Adobe Premiere, as I said, and you will see I'll get it as best as possible, but there's some yellow writing here on my hat, and the last green screen that I sort of successfully did, you could actually see through my head. So it's best to wear contrasting colours to the screen. That way you'll have 100% success. Okay, so here's my front end, I guess, for Adobe Premiere, and you obviously get quite a few different variations. So the first thing I do is I tend to correct the colour. I use the fast colour corrector. I select the clip that I'm colour correcting. I use the drop down menu. Now I find myself using in the saturation, I increase that to 130, and then I come down to the input levels, and something I'm going to remember is I do it across every clip that I use in the movie I'm doing in post. So I know that this is 10, I know that this is 0.7, oops, sometimes I push the wrong button. Okay, this is 0.7, and this will be 220. Okay, now on the little menu box down here, this is where I have my effects. I'll close the video effects. I'll close the color corrector, and I will select the keying folder. In the keying folder, I drag the chroma key across to the clip there, and in this window here, in the effects control window I should call it, I'll close this and I look for Chroma Key.
Now, you have these settings here. So I usually use the little paint dropper thing and choose a colour, and this is where these settings here come in handy. I'll select, okay, so I've gone to 8% there, and basically then I'll drag it across the clip and see how it's going. So I've got pretty even light here, as you can see. So that's a basic way that I can do it. And then there's other, as you can see, there's still a little bit of green coming through here and there, and that might be the bed sheet moving in the background. So you blend rate, you can increase your blend like so, but you don't want to take out too much, because if you have a look, I'll expand the screen a bit so you can see a little bit more. Now, this is getting awkward. Okay, like so. And you've got a threshold button here. I've never really experienced with threshold, I guess, but I don't know. I'll leave that on 0 for the moment. Maybe try and reduce that a little bit. Say if you went to 8.5, that seems to be a good colour. A threshold of 1, of 6, so I'll go 5.5. I'll go a little bit lower than, just to make sure. And I should be green screened out completely. So if I was to then drag my file, which is the background of my YouTube channel, and so I'll grab that, I'll drag it up here, right? And the reason I drag it on top first is because I can actually expand it across my screen area and widen it and try and keep it in the same sort of resolution. Okay, so that's done there. Now I would then deselect that, select the film clip, drag the film clip above it, and that puts it in the background. And I would stretch it across the back of the film clip. I'll just minimize this down a bit. Now this film clip, part of the clip hasn't been edited yet, it's just a showing purpose. So when you play it. Okay, so I'm going to make a few recommendations here. Number one, clean your lenses. Always clean your lenses. You think your camera's ready to go and all that, but... Okay, so basically that's how it's done. Okay, so we're back again now, and I'm going to activate the green screen. And I'm operating here in pure sunlight coming in through a window against this. Now the tip of this is a studio on a shoestring, okay? You can't put shadows on the green screen because you're trying to green screen one consistent colour out. Now I'm doing a bit of blending in here with the software. Now in most good software, I should say, you will have a Chroma Keying option, and you highlight, okay, the Chroma Keying option is what is going to give you the ability to put videos on the background, swirly colours. It depends what your flavour is, what you're doing, and what you're trying to portray. So basically this is how I do it. I did have a better sheet for this, and I used to do it when the kids were younger. I'd make them pretend they're running on the green screen and put a scene of dinosaurs in the background, chasing them and all that sort of stuff. It actually worked quite well. Now I'm by far no great video producer, editor, director or anything like that. This is purely hobby for me, and I love doing it, as you can see by all my uploads and all that sort of stuff on my channel. So no shadows, contrasting colours, as much light as you can get on that green screen. That is a key factor to getting this to work successfully. I mean, I've got direct sunlight coming in the room here. Well, sort of, it's on an angle, but that's here. But I've also got the bedroom light on, so that's working as well. Now, when doing a green screen, there's a bit more forward thinking into making a video, because you can't see what you can see in your mind, what you've got planned for the video, but you can't see it in live. It all happens in post-production, where you activate the chroma keying and put out your green screen and all that sort of stuff. So I highly suggest, whilst you've got a green screen up like this, that you actually make a few videos. Do a few outtakes or whatever you want to call them. That way you're guaranteed not to be successful, but to have more material to compile together to make a better video.